and warm welcome to Live Bush Camps Chat with Khaya Tlou. A warm welcome again to a Live Bush Camps Chat with Khaya Tlou. Yeah, we are coming to you live from Pridelands, southern part of Balule in the Greater Kruger National Park. So, our show is all about live camps that are in our perimeter in Pridelands, Kwenga, and Cape Town. So we have live cameras here who are recording each and every movement of the animals that are active, especially when we are not around the bush. So who's with us today? Let me see. Cookie Bee, Willow, Dance in the Rain, Julie, Barbara. Okay, that's it. So we have few people, I'm sure, and I'm hoping more will be joining. And if you are new and if you are not aware what's happening in my show is that I'm discussing about the live cameras, the recordings, the pre-recorded videos, and see what we see in our cameras, because what happens is we have these cameras because we want to see how many animals are in here, and then what animals that are here that we don't see in our naked eyes, especially these ones that are nocturnal and these ones that are very shy. You know, these animals like your white-tailed mongoose is very, very, very shy, and it's active at night. So if it's active and our cameras are live, they have a chance to see those species. So we also have something interesting today, because 2 days ago, on the 26th and 27th, there was a commotion of hyenas. So we didn't know what was happening because we had hyenas calling left, right, center, but outside the eyes of the camera. So there was speculation on what was happening. Maybe the lions were there, the wild dogs were there, maybe a cheetah, maybe other rival hyenas were there. We don't know, but I still don't know what happened, because I did ask around and I didn't get a clear answer. But I strongly believe that you will definitely help me if you did see the video. We'll be playing the video, not now, but just at the later stage of the show. So what we'll do is we'll start with a few videos from Critter Camp to Kwenga Waterhole, because we have things amazing to discuss about. Bavu, what's our first video? Okay, Babu is having some difficulties, some technical difficulties in FC, and he's with VM. So, you know, where there's VM, there's hope. So we'll be playing those videos very soon. So what's happening is there were discussions, especially since yesterday, around Pridelands. And what happened was, we're talking about this hyena thing. There were calls that I had them for the first time. You know, hyenas, they have about 11 calls and more that have been recorded, and they mean certain things and certain moods. So there was also a call that was heard while those hyenas were calling. It sounded like, to me, it sounded like a frog or a leopard growling, and a buffalo stress call. So I thought maybe it was just between that, because I know that if there was a cheetah around there, hyenas won't really bother about that. And if there was a leopard, hyenas don't really bother by a leopard. But if wild dogs give them a push, they might have a fight. And if lions are around, they will definitely being pushed away, and they will definitely fight if there's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 lions, and if the number of hyenas it's quite up, they will definitely stand their ground. But one hyena with 2-3 lions, it won't stand a chance, it will just run away. So with the help of Judy and other viewers, they did see the action happening live, so they did give me a clue on what was really happening there, because our time difference, when we are asleep, people who are on the other side of the world, they are awake and they get to see all the action that is happening here at night. And we have such great news for you. On Sunday, do not forget to watch Painteddog TV, because what's happening is, instead of Animal Wildlife, a normal Animal Wildlife will be doing a Halloween special show. So we'll be having drives and we'll be having a presenter in studio. It will be so awesome. We'll be talking about different myths of different cultures and different how can I call it? In different countries. Especially we have Yuka. She's Japanese. She'll be telling us about the myths of Japanese people. I'm here. I'll be talking about myths of my culture. And Brent. And we'll be right back, because Buff Vu is having some technical difficulties, so we have to restart, and then we'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, Gremlins. But because we have some technical guys in studio, FC, everything will be going accordingly. I know we have to beat these gremlins. So Tony, welcome. And Bavu, are you winning with the videos? Okay, Bavu's giving us 2 more seconds, then the videos will be ready for us. Beautiful videos. I've taken them from the pre-recordings, then get all those beautiful, catchy videos. So what we'll start with the multi-view and see all the videos, all the cameras that are installed, and then we'll see who's active, and then if there's a camera that has an activity, will be going there. But I strongly believe that Hyenas might be active this time. Yes, I think the Hyena Den is active. Let's go and see what's happening at the Hyena Den. Whoa, we have young boys and girls, and also moms suckling, giving some cubs some fresh milk. And you can see the others on the left hand side of mom, who's letting her cubs suckle. They're busy sniffing around. So it's what we usually see on live cameras, Pride hyena, because this den is very active, and these youngsters, they tend to move away from the den side, exploring whatever is new to them, and then they're slowly coming back. And these ones, the ones that are slowly exposing all the spots, I've seen them about 200-300 meters away from the den side. So there's a main road that takes us to the main gate of the reserve. So I've seen them walking there without mount. So I think they are slowly getting all the courage of moving away from the den, because they are getting to be old now. Okay, so before we go to the hyena clip, so I just want that to be the last part of the show, that we discuss more about what we saw on that day from the 26th and the 27th. But now let's start with the video that I've prepared before the hyenas. Bavu, get us some videos, buddy. Yes, this is Krita Cam, one of my favorite cameras because it just gives all the small details and all these small little animals that we can't really see, and they run away from us when we are on a game drive. So here we have baboons. It's just right here next to me. It's about 5 meters from where I'm sitting right now. So this is a troop of baboons that invades our camp. So we make sure that we chase them away, clap your hands or shout loud, and then they'll definitely move away from the camp. And you can see there's about 4 or 5 around here, coming to 3, and there's a lot of them. From the youngsters to the males and females, adults and sub-adults. So what's happening here is that we refill that particular water source every time the water dries off, so to give all these animals some fresh water to drink. So you can see these. You can see these are males. You can see the penis there in the middle baboon. This one that's standing up right now, moving away, it's a male. And that's a young male. You can see this other male just relaxing and making sure that he gets his throat wet. And you can see we have 2 males here, because I took this video because it was so interesting, because you just watch what's going to happen here. There are these 2 males. They are going to do this something interesting. Let's just wait a bit and see what are they up to. So you can see these are 2 boys. Look what they're going to do. Look at that. That is not strange for hyenas, for baboons. It's not strange because those are 2 boys trying to mount each other. So that shows dominance to the other baboons. So it's not only happening in baboons. I've seen that in lions. I've seen that giraffes are doing it. So if the bigger or dominant male is around the less dominant males, they will mount them just to show their dominance. So it's not foreign. And we can see that it's not really a proper mating. It's just the dominant sign. And you can see it's moving away from the water hole. Bavu, do you have a next video, brother? Yes, Krita came again. So we have this guy who's ready for summer. You can see this beautiful glossy looking bird, which is called a Virtual Starling, rocking his shots. See, it's very, very hot. This was the 23rd of October. So you can see there will be these ones joining. So before it drinks and takes his head down, it has to look around and see what's happening before it drinks, because it knows that if he's alone, he's definitely vulnerable. Second one coming. Third one coming. So you can see the difference between these 2 birds that just landed now and the bird that landed at first. You can see the size, the eye color, and the tail. So these ones we're looking at right now with these orangey reddish eyes, these are called the Cape glossy starlings, and the other one is called a Virtual Starling. So you can see it's very hot. If a bird definitely opens its mouth, it's either it's calling or it's very hot. It's trying to remove all the heat away from its body. And you can see the feathers are fluffed out, and then you can see the wings are a little bit open because it's trying by all means to cool its body temperature a little bit down. Here's a second Birchels chasing the other one, because you can see the size difference, and these ones are more dominant compared to these Cape glossy starlings. It's beautiful seeing such birds. Actually, and you can see that the size really tells that it works in the bush. It's not a matter of being smart, just a matter of size. So the Birchels are the birds that we see every day, and the Cape glossy starlings are the birds that we see every day. Wait until the sun shines on them. Beautiful shiny birds, but when it's dull and it's cloudy, you won't really see that glossy look. It's beautiful. You can see it's turning dark now. VM is trying to get my lighting right. But let's go to the next video. And it's load shedding. Oh, I forgot. It's load shedding. We don't have electricity. It started from, it left 3 o'clock, and then it will be up by 5. So, you know, we have some backup. So we have to make sure that everything runs. Well, what do we have there? We have a leopard. This is a leopard. You can see this is Quenga waterhole. So it's a bit far from where I am right now. Bavu. Slowly, brother. Slowly, brother. You will definitely elevate my my excitement here. So that one, it was a leopard, and then now it's a rhino. So I believe, Bavu, after watching this rhino, we'll be definitely going back to the leopard. Let's go for a rhino, brother, and then we'll discuss about the leopard. Let's go for a rhino. Because I can see it's load shedding, like trying to fix everything, and then Bavu is busy in FC because he's all alone now. Because he's all alone now because VM is also doing some stuff around here, trying to make this show a success during this difficult time. Because load shedding, it's really, really, really making our lives hard. Okay, let's start with the leopard. Thanks, Bavu. So that's a leopard. It's about 30-45 minutes drive from here to where the leopard is seen, the Quenga waterhole. So because all these bumpy roads, gravel roads from here. Thank you, VM. Some small lighting coming straight to my face now. It's beautiful. So I can't really tell whether it's a female or male, because you know these live cameras that we install, they are not as perfect as being there with a camera operator holding these digital cameras. So a male, you can see this golden scrotum, and the females don't have that, and the males, they're bulky and they have this dewlap. So I strongly believe that this one might be a female, because you can see the body size. It's not really big and bulky. Here's my point. So, Bob, let's go to a rhino. Let's go to a rhino. Yes! This is one of the animals that I love. It's part of the favorite animals. And what's happening here, you can see this rhino, it's very hot also here. It's the 23rd also of October. Coming to a waterhole, quench his thirst. And what's so interesting about white rhinos is that they weigh 2,500 kilograms. That's a maximum weight. And then they have 12 toes. So in each leg they have 3 toes, because they are odd-toed animals. So dividing that weight, 2,500 by 12, because of their 12 toes, it gives you 208 or 209. And then that simply means each toe carries 209 max weight. Just imagine. And I'm just 90 kilograms. So that will really tell you how powerful this animal is. Yes, let's go for to the next clip. But who's here? Same location. Do you see something here? Whoa! Slender monkeys! Look at that. So do you see those canines? We have these sharp canines to kill the prey species, especially the snakes. They can eat frogs, they can eat birds, they can eat eggs, and they have 28 teeth, sharp teeth. And what I've read a few days ago is that these slender mongoose, actually, they are not really resistant from venom. So what happens is, because they use these ninja moves when killing a snake, so they have to make sure that they don't get any bite from a snake. But if they do get, it depends on how much venom it was injected in their body system, because they can just keep up with a certain amount of venom in their system. So that's quite cool. Bav? Oh, last clip, and then we're going for hyenas. Yes, this is Cape Town. So we've been to Cape Town. So it's an African penguin. So we've seen this quite a lot and quite often, because they are one of the penguins that they breed in southern Africa, or they breed in Africa. And what's so interesting about penguins is that their feathers, actually. Looking at this one bird, you know, there's this giant and huge penguin that's more bigger compared to this penguin we are looking at right now, which is called an emperor penguin. So emperor penguin it has about 80,000 feathers. This is such a bird with a lot of feathers compared to any bird species. And emperor penguins, they are believed to have 4 layers, and then these 4 layers, it protects them from this frigid climate, because they live in Antarctica. They're endemic to Antarctica, and they prefer to be on land compared to swimming. And these feathers and these layers, they help them from icy wind, and also helps them they also help them to have this waterproof coat. It's so interesting. And the other interesting thing is that, have you heard of whistling swan? A bird looks like a goose. It's white in color. It has about 25,000 feathers. It's interesting. And the bald eagle, it has about 7,200 feathers. And hummingbirds, they have about just less than 1,000 feathers. So it shows that different birds from different countries with different weather patterns, they have different number of feathers on their body. Because, you know, in southern hemisphere or in southern Africa, there's no need for our birds to have this huge amount of feathers, because we don't have those vicious weather patterns, especially in winter. We don't have these super freezing cold like Antarctica, where those penguins that side, they have to have these thick layers of feather to protect them from those icy cold winds. Yes, let's go to the multi-view and see what is happening. Maybe you might see quenga, we might see penguins live, we might see hyenas. going live. So it seems as if the Hyena Den is the only camera that has live on it. So what we do is we'll just go to Hyena Den, and from there we'll take you to what happened a few days ago. So you see the den is still a bit active, because there we have 9 cubbies. We have 9 cubbies. Different ages, of course. There's one coming from the right hand side of the den. There, who's that? Oh, I thought it's an adult hyena. It's just a youngster. You can see the color. Bravo. Let's go for the first clip. There's this one interesting clip where we don't really see hyenas, but we can hear different calls from the video clip. So it took about 6 minutes 44 seconds. And for sure, and we really thank our curators. Definitely, we really thank you for saving these, for sending these to us, and for grabbing every information that we really need, because without you, we wouldn't have seen this. Maybe we might seen this maybe a week or 2 after. But because we're keeping with times of these cameras, thank you so much. So I just want to be quiet a little bit, because I just want you to hear all these sounds, different sounds from the hyenas. So I didn't answer questions because my tablet was giving me some technical issues, but I think it's back now. Babu, you can come back to us, brother. You can come back to us and discuss a bit more about the calls that we had. I'm sorry about that, because I couldn't keep up with the questions, because my tablet was giving me some technicalities, because you know I'm used to this, so you can see the size difference. So that's my personal phone, and so this is my work tablet. So did you hear those hyena calls? So it was so interesting, because they were growling there, there were a little bit of whooping, there was a little bit of giggling, there was a little bit of sound that it sounds like something is being strangled. So what do you think is that? Because I personally think it was a leopard growling, but at the same time I said no, it can't be, because a leopard will definitely dash away from the hyenas. And I thought maybe it was a buffalo being strangled. And then I asked myself that if there was a buffalo being killed, we would have seen the carcass there, and we would have seen a hyena bringing a leg or a piece of meat of some sort from a buffalo carcass. And I also thought it was a frog. But around the den side, there's no water source. So there's this dry riverbed. It's about 120 meters away from the den side. And as I've said earlier on, I think because the lions were once at the den side and there was this one on top of the den roaring and roaring, I think they smelled that and then they started panicking and started calling maybe for backup. Maybe they think those lions would be coming back to the den area. Or maybe a pack of wild dogs was trying to push them. But if there was a pack of wild dogs in Pride, we would have seen that. And we would have seen the tracks coming in or tracks going out. And the leopard can mess with hyenas. Because we see sometimes we find that there are 4 or 5 hyenas, adult hyenas. And a leopard won't just go straight into hyenas because it knows that it's a no-no, it's a no-go zone. So what do you think that sound at first? Actually, it was like, I thought it was something being strangled. What do you think? Yes, Julie, I think something interesting was really happening because this clip is only about 7 minutes, and as you're saying, it goes up to 30 minutes. And we also like to thank Karin Pels. I'm sure I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. My tablet is giving me some technical problems here because it's not receiving any questions and comments here. But let me talk. I'll wait for your questions coming. So what happens is after that, let's see what happened after, because there was this thing interesting that really happened that I saw. It was my first time seeing that happening where I'm working. Bavu, let's go to that clip, brother. Cookie P, maybe it might be a buffalo, but I think that buffalo was supposed to be seen lying dead and hyena feeding. Maybe lions coming in trying to steal the carcass. Look at that. Let's just look at that. Bavu, may you please go back a bit? Just go back a bit, few seconds. Let's go back a bit, few seconds before the hyena. Just there. Then just there, Bavu. Just there. Yes, pause there. Do you see the hyena here? This hyena is holding a half lion cub. And please, if you're a sensitive viewer, please move your eyes away from the screen. So you can see, it's so interesting because Robin, that's a female hyena, she came with that carcass in his mouth. And you can see the carcass is not fresh because you can see there are no flexible movements from the front legs because only the front part is left, like the front legs and the head. The back side, it's not there. So I strongly believe that that cub, it's been dead for maybe a few hours or maybe a day before. So what I think it happened with this carcass, with this baby lion, is that I personally think that because in Pride Lands we have 15 cubs in a pride called Ngati Pride, and then it's split. These 2 females, they split with these 6 females. Then these 6 females are walking with 10 cubs, and these 2 females are walking with 5 cubs. And then I've seen these males at the kill what they do is they try to eat the whole carcass by themselves, and then they push away the youngsters, and they push away the youngsters. So what happens, I think these youngsters, they are not getting enough nutrients or meat from the carcass area because there's huge competition there. So they're not getting all the energy to keep up with the mothers while they move around this area, going to Kwenga, going to Jajane on the north. So I think this one cub was left behind because he started getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And then a hyena saw it, and maybe it killed it, took it to the hyena den to show the youngsters. And the other thing is that I think these cubs were killed by these rival males, because we have two rival males which are new boys in their territory trying to grow a bit so that they can be competing with the other males. So I think the youngster strayed away from the other cubs while the mothers were not there, and then it was killed. And I personally think a hyena killed it, then it took it there. And the other thing is that buffaloes, or the prey species, they killed it. If they smell a den site, they will definitely go and search, and if they see cubs, they will definitely kill them. And even giraffes does that. Zebras, they do that. And lots of antelopes, they do that. So there's a lot and lot of things that goes into my mind about what happened. So Bavu, let's go back to a clip and see what happens there. Yes, Julie, look at that. Definitely, these cubs they were not all looking good. The ones who were looking good were the ones that are a little bit older compared to the younger ones, because the younger ones, they were not so fat compared to the others. So I thought maybe they're not getting enough nutrients from the milk, and they're not getting enough chance to feed at the carcass area. So look at that, Bavu. Pause there, brother. Just pause there and look at that. I just want us to look at that. So did you see what happened there? So Robin came with the carcass at the den site, and the cubs approached Robin. They sniffed there a little bit, then they dashed into the hole, right deep inside. Because you know what? Because of their instinctive behavior, they know that instinctively that the smell, the sight of a lion, it means danger, it means death. You must just run away from that particular area and get inside the den site. So that's what happens. That's what goes into their minds. The youngsters, they think that that cub is still alive, and that cub might be a danger to them. So that's why Robin, the mother, is throwing that carcass into a hole, a den site, trying to tell them that this is a lion, this is our enemy, you must kill it when you see it. And this is just a cub, it won't harm you. And if it happens that you bump into a cub in the bush when you are grown-ups, kill it, do not hesitate, because they have a competition in terms of food, they have competition in terms of territories, they have competition in terms of hunting grounds, they have competition, because lions and hyenas, they've been enemies since day one until now, and the battle will still continue for generations and generations. Bavu, let's go back to a clip, brother, and continue where we paused. Okay? Look at that. That's still Robin. So the cubs are nowhere to be seen. Deep inside the den, the cub is in there. Then Robin goes in and take away the carcass. I strongly believe those youngsters, they are totally traumatized. Yes, definitely. It's so I can say it's so crazy and insane how the cubs react to such things while they are so young. So you can see there's a car around here. So they are seeing this thing and they are seeing what's happening. I strongly believe they are also confused what is happening because they are seeing this half carcass of a lion cub and they don't know what happened, who killed it, and what killed it. So Robin did remove that carcass at the entrance of the den or of the hole because she knew that these cubs are really, really traumatized and they won't be coming out of them because they can smell that, they can see the carcass, they think that thing will be eating them. So that's why those cubs were still tucked in there, and then Robin took away the carcass. So what happened, you can see there's a second grown hyena there. It's not worried at all because it can see that it's study time, it's learning time, because that's what these mothers are doing, especially the ones with cubs. I strongly believe that Robin didn't bring the cub there for those cubs to eat it. They might eat it, or they might have eaten it after she dashed off with the carcass, but I think she purposely came with the carcass at the den site because it was a learning curve. She wanted to see how these youngsters are going to react from the smell of a lion, and she wanted to see what the cubs are going to do when they see a lion. So that's what I think, because hyenas are so smart. They are not just hyenas. And I strongly believe if that cub was still alive, or a bit alive, not dead already, maybe it was a bit injured, but it was going to be killed by those hyenas, I think they were going to let that cub to be walking around and trying to see what those youngsters are going to react, because they know that they have to be taught by these lions at an early stage. And it's so interesting how those cubs picks up the scent of lions, because I strongly believe that they only picked it up that time when they were around the den site, but you won't know who tells them, who teaches them how to react to a predator smell. It was so interesting. And you can see that they were taught well, because they didn't want to know whether the lion cub is dead or lion cub is alive. They just dashed off to the den site. So what do you think happened? Because my first time in Pridelands, I saw this huge pride of lions with a huge population or a huge number of cubs. And then I asked myself why these cubs are still surviving at this age. It simply means their parents are doing well to feed them. But immediately when I started seeing that there are few cubs that are not doing well, and then it came to my mind that I think these youngsters are not getting enough meat. So that's what's going to happen. Or maybe this cub just died because of malnutrition. It couldn't keep up because maybe it didn't eat for more than 5 or 10 days, who knows? Because lions, they sometimes go for 7-8 days without eating. Mothers, for them to produce extra milk, they have to eat something, then they produce more milk for their youngsters. What do you think? Baboon FC, what do you think, brother? Babu says he's also speechless. Electricity back. Oh, it's 16 minutes after 5. Load shedding is gone. So we are back. So you can see how smart. Beautiful. You can see how smart. I'm so excited because of this light. You can see how smart hyenas are. That's why I like them. Yes, Julie, most definitely. Most definitely. They are smart mothers to teach them, because if they don't know about these things, they'll end up running towards or into lines, not knowing that they are danger. So you can tell that these youngsters, they know these lines before seeing them. I strongly believe they communicate. I strongly believe they tell them. And it's so interesting, how do they know their scent if they never smelt it? So interesting. Bavu. Oh, no more videos, eh? But this was such an interesting thing that I've seen. It was my first time seeing such thing. So, and there's something interesting. If you're interested on being a curator, it's a person who watches the videos or the live cameras and gather all the information and save them and give it to us and get all the updates. And there's a post for that. If you're interested in being a curator, please email Painteddog TV on info@painteddog.tv. Who knows, you might be the one who's sharing videos with us. You might be the one who let us know about what's happening while we're still asleep. So Julie can tell you how interesting it is to be a curator, because Julie is one of the people who really helps us to gather all these videos with her team. And then if you really want to be part of it, please send your email. Please send your email. Oh, Hyena Den currently active. Yeah, Hyena Den currently active. Yes, and an interesting thing is that if you're a curator, you get to watch all of this happening before everyone watches it, because this happens on my show, pre-recorded stuff, and on Animal World Live, pre-recorded. If you're a curator, definitely you'll see this happening live. And the show, Bavu, Sunday show is 6 o'clock, right? 6 p.m. Central African time. Yes, that's Sunday, 6 o'clock. A special Halloween drive. That's evening to us. I don't want to miss it. It's a big one. And guess what? It's going to be my first time celebrating Halloween, because where I'm from, we don't really celebrate Halloween, but I'm going to be dressed like, I'm not going to tell you everything, but you have to see on Sunday. I'm going to be dressing like, but let me give you a clue. Person who's short, long beard, female like male, long ears, with a nail in his head, huge teeth, a little bit of gaps, barefoot, feeding on milk and sometimes on rocks, eating wires sometimes. Yeah, it's going to be my first time wearing my attire, my Halloween suit. So it's going to be my first time. I'm excited. It's going to be myself, Yuka and Brenty. We're going to be coming to you live. Please do not miss it. So let's go back to the Hyena Den, Babu. Let's see how it's chilled today. Because hyenas are a bit chilled this afternoon. So you can see the mother As you can see, hyenas, when they are there to feed the youngsters, they sleep on their side. When they are there to relax, to get all the energy to walk, to roam the nights of Pride Lands, they sit like that, or they lie like that. They just don't want any youngster around them to suckle. You can see their nipples are hidden, no access for any milk. Not for wild. Yes, Mary for wild, the Tokoloshi. See the Tokoloshi. Babu, come back to me, please. Mary for wild got what I was talking about. A Tokoloshi. That's Tokoloshi. 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 Yes, a Tokoloshi. I'll be looking like it. And I'm so happy that I'll be looking like a Tokoloshi away from my village, because if I look like a Tokoloshi in my village, it's gonna be a disaster. It is gonna be a disaster. And I'm not. I know I'm laughing, but it's not a laughing matter. If someone is suspected to be a Tokoloshi, some villages are very strict. Burn, 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 dead. So I've never seen a Tokoloshi. I'd love to see a Tokoloshi, but stories behind Tokoloshi makes me not doubting myself to see one. But yes, you have Tokoloshis overseas, Europe, USA. But let's talk more about this on Sunday. But what do you think? Yes, you must come and watch on Sunday so that I can tell you more about Tokoloshis. You must come and watch and get all these myths about Tokoloshis, all these myths about evil stories that I was told by my granddad, my grandmother. There's a lot, There's a lot. And I strongly believe that you will sleep after that. Please, promise me you're going to sleep. Yes, Judy, Tokoloshi looks like a gremlin. So, Bavu, no more videos for this week, right? So, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for taking all the time to tune in on Painteddog TV, live bush camps chat with Khaya Tlou. I really appreciate it. I know it's night time, you have to sleep. I know it's dinner time, you have to go eat. I know it's work time, you have to adjust from work and TV or your tablet or your cell phone. I know it's morning time, you have to wake up and have a shower, but you decided to stay with Khaya Tlou. Thank you so much. Wherever you are, it's night time, it's evening time, it's morning time. I'm really blessed to be with you today. And I hope and I believe that you really enjoyed the show, even if we had a few gremlins and some lighting problems, but I strongly believe that you did hear more in this show. Thank you, Tulani, on camera, with the help of the whole team, Bavu, VM, Matt and Brian. Not forgetting Brenty and Yuka. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for staying with me until the end of the show. My name is still Khaya Tlou from Siabuswa and Debele Boy. Catch us next week on Sunday, 6 p.m. Animal World Live. It's going to be proper. But is it this week? Is that the week starting on a Sunday? I thought this coming Sunday, it's next week already. So yes, I'll catch you on Sunday with Brent, Yuka, and myself talking about all this awesome stuff. Have a great night, have a great morning, have a great day. Khaya loves you all. Nginithanda nonke emakhaya.